Hey, beautiful people. Happy Imbolc. This is a fire ceremony and this is what I made earlier. I'm so excited to welcome you into my new abode. I've just arrived today, Mavis and I, and it is a beautiful cottage. I had not seen the cottage until I arrived today, apart from online, and it is way more beautiful in person. So we are just loving it. It's so cute and so quaint and oldie worldly in the UK. And I have my favourite. If it isn't a log burner, then it's an open fire, and this is perfect for Imbolc because Imbolc is a fire ceremony, okay, and it's in honour of Bridget, the goddess of healing. So this is actually, it's one of my favourite festivals. I've been following the pagan cycle now for about 15 years. I used to hold fire ceremonies in my house and goddess gatherings for many, many years. So and then I went on a very inward journey. So this is the first time for me to come live, but I don't have many followings at the moment, so I'm very new to Instagram. Been back here for a short time. So I'm going to do this live and then we'll post it later and you will be able to see it. So let me know if you're watching this on the replay. And I'm looking down to see if anyone's coming on. So I want to share some things in this video, in this live celebration, even if I'm here on my own. I'm not on my own, because I'm going to post some videos that I did when I came here, and there's just so many orbs in the house, and I really felt a lot of energy here. I'm in the countryside, so it really is quiet and beautiful and connected to nature, just what I wanted, because it's my last time with my puddy cat Mavis, so I'm holding her home in my heart, and she's going to be with me for just a short time now. So this is our time to be together. And that's a little bit talking of death, but I want to talk about birth, okay? Because Imbolc in the womb is about looking at the transition between moving from the winter into the spring season, okay? Well, it's kind of in that in-between stage, and it's really about planting the seeds and really looking at what you want to manifest in 2022. And my invitation is to look at manifesting from your soul, okay? So many people I see manifest from their ego. And when I talk about ego, it's not a bad thing, okay? It's just your mind. And your ego, your mind, your power is there to help you to take the aligned action. But the alignment comes from your soul. And that's where a lot of people get this wrong, because they think that they tune into their mind, okay? They think about what they want, and then they take the action in alignment with their mind. Whereas actually, we're meant to, the two hemispheres of the brain, which 2022 is a perfect year for sacred union, okay? The two's sacred union be within of the masculine and the feminine in men and women. So the 2022 is a perfect year for embracing that alignment within us. And so that's about, particularly as women, is tuning into our intuition, starting with the yin, and receive the downloads, receive the signs, receive the inspiration, and then take aligned action, because then you're following your soul. And what I find for myself, depending on where you are in life, is that I spent years it's a mixture really of following my soul and my mind. Okay, it's a mixture of that. But when you mature and you get a little bit older, which I am, then I think what happens is you don't really have a choice. It's like your spirit and your soul is calling you, and you're called to places and people and experiences for the evolution of your soul, which is very different, I think, to when we're a little bit younger and, you know, we just want what we desire, we want the desires. And whereas when you follow your soul really is guiding you to things, experiences and people that will help you evolve. And that might not always be comfortable. And that's the key. It might not always be comfortable, okay? But it will be for you. It will be for your benefit. Yeah? So I want to talk about manifesting this cottage. Now, I'm going to claim my gift, which is the fact that I'm probably only 1% of the population who has been meditating for 20 years. I took 10 years out, and I'm going to write about that and share a lot more about that soon. I took 10 years out to heal, and I'm now only just returning to share my wisdom with people. I have no mental chatter, so I get direct downloads and I follow. I can hardly use my left brain, my mental brain, to work out decisions now in where to go. In fact, I can't do it. I find it really hard. So for me, I have no choice but to go with the flow, and that means not knowing what I'm doing any day, where I'm going to go. I'm driving, 22nd of December, I'm driving in a van with some things, my stuff in the back of the van that I've taken out of storage, with maybe it's my putty cat. We have no home, 22nd of December. When that happens, for me, I tune in, and I have no choice but to tune in and sit quietly and ask for guidance. And I always get guidance. I was guided to go and stay at a hotel where I met a beautiful lady that then guided me to go to a village, and I had already decided to go to a particular village kept coming to my mind. It's my favourite village in the Lincolnshire Wolds where I live, and I went there and I sat in a pub, the King's Head, which is a beautiful place, and walked around the villages for about 5 hours waiting for a particular place, for the person to get back to me. And when they did, I stayed with them, and then they had a log cabin, a converted barn in the back of their yard with a tree surgeon, so there's wood everywhere. I wanted a log cabin. I wanted wood. I just wanted wood. I wanted earth. I wanted to connect to nature, and it was at the top of the village. Beautiful view, and this place, if you've seen my previous videos, this place was incredible. And it was a gallery, and I wanted to explore more creativity and get back into painting, because I've been travelling so much. And I actually gave a friend, a painter, my paintings, my really good flow paints. And so I just stretched out here. Is the fire still going? Yeah, so I found this place, and then this cottage, my branding this year is Return to Innocence. So it's all about helping people. I don't actually know. Let me check. I don't know. Just check. Yeah, I am looking at the right part of the camera. Give you a bit of fire as well. You can tell I haven't done this for a while, can't you? So, this cottage it came to me in inspiration because my branding this year is Return to Innocence, which is all about returning to your inner child and the purity and the innocence of who we were as children before all the crap happened for all of us. Okay, we've all been traumatized in small ways, in big ways. We've had rejections, we've had grief, we have abandonment woundings, we've split up with people. There are many woundings that all of us carry, okay, and we hold those woundings in our body and we hold them as blocks. The challenge that we have in society is that we have created a society where we don't allow emotions and feelings to flow. We are, especially in the UK, repression of the feminine in men and women. So I have a real passion. 10 years ago, when I was at the top of my game in my career, I burnt out. And I'd actually already done 10 years of personal development work, okay, and trained in psychology for 5 years. And I was doing energy medicine as well as walking a very traditional path as well. I was doing both, fire ceremonies 1 minute, working with doctors the next, okay, and my first clients actually were doctors. Well, it really is time for us to follow our intuition and connect to the feminine and the inner child, okay, connect to the heart, our intuition, the sacred union within. So the invitation is to invite you to explore, what did you used to love to do as a child? Because I'm actually back in my childhood village and it almost makes me longer. It brings me and it touches me because I was guided. I came to my childhood home twice this year. The last time was in a camper van with Mavis, and I channeled down my childhood lane. We had no neighbours, and I was there from the age of 3. I channeled 7 steps to return to innocence, and I knew that this was going to be a big part of my life. I just knew, because it just channeled into my journal. And when then later on, as I've gone through, I knew that I got this year that this was my branding. This is what I'm here to help people do, is to return to innocence. And particular, I think, for empaths, because I know for myself there have been many situations where I have been blamed and shamed for things that are actually not my fault, okay? And we have the tendency for a lot of people to put that on us because we're very sensitive, we're empathic, and we trigger people because of that lightness, because of that sensitivity, and that empathic energy does open people, and then they can kind of kick back at you a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to do another video to talk about that. Make sure that you get the fire here. We need any more logs? Can you see that? So return to innocence. My invitation is to ask you what you used to love as a child, because I really feel that we can heal the trauma within ourselves that we have accumulated over the years. I have done myself. There is nothing. I live in pure presence now. If I just stop talking, there's no mental chatter. I would say that probably 1% of the population has that. Even meditators, they talk. I see videos of them talking about, to clear that mental chatter, and Eckhart Tolle talks about that a lot. I have no mental chatter because of the 10 years that I took out. I've been invited by world leaders to work with them, and I'm returning. And it's quite humbling, really, because nobody knows me. And yet, there's a pure gift that I can offer people of helping you to really connect back to your spirit and your soul and your inner child and your heart. And that's what I want for all of us, is to feel that childlike wonder and that innocence in our heart before the heaviness of life. And especially these last 2 years, look at my fire. Where's my fire gone? I'm gonna stoke my fire. Sorry. We need more fire. Bit kindling. Oops. I have to have the guard on, so it makes it a little bit difficult. There we go. I love this. I feel like a kid. I remember, I don't know if any of this happened to you, but because we lived in the countryside, we often had power cuts. So I was saying to my mum today, because she came here, that I remember having candles here, having candles in the house, like just candles. The lanterns that you move around with. There is one in the cupboard here. Yeah. So I just want to leave you with a story about manifestation and following your soul. So I knew that I wanted to come back. I meditated. I very quickly got the inspiration to come back to my childhood home, village. My mind was saying, yeah, really? And my soul was saying, absolutely yes. So I started to ask around, and I had already visited here at the church, so I contacted the person, asked her to put an advert on, and I had already seen in my mind where this place was, but I didn't know this house was here. But I know the couple that own it. This little cottage that live next door, I know them well. They used to come to our house for parties because, of course, you know, they're just down the lane from me. And, yeah, the owner phoned me, and I said to her, do you know who this is? And she has this beautiful cottage that she's renting out on a monthly basis, and and I actually spoke to my mum and mentioned her and her partner, her husband. My mum and I actually mentioned the two of them, that they lived down here the night before. So when you're in alignment, the reason why I want to share this, I know this is quite a lot about my stories, but the reason why I want to share this is because I want to share with you that when you follow your soul, when you clear the gunk, when you clear the mental chatter, when you clear yourself, what happens is you get instant downloads so quickly. And then you start taking the aligned action. Okay, I contacted and I got the message out. Then I got the phone call. We spoke, and there's an agreement for me to come here. I hadn't looked, but I just knew it would be lovely. And then, of course, today, the manifestation, we've arrived, and it's just absolutely, really is magical. It's in the countryside. It really is a beautiful cottage and magical. So that's it. That's the manifestation process. But it always starts with that insight, the inspiration, and to connected to that, we need to have a clearer mind. Okay, I'm going to be doing a lot more meditations online. So if you see this on the replay, please do comment and, you know, share any insights and manifestations that you have going on right now, because I think things are increasing. The vibration is increasing. So people are starting to manifest with much more ease and grace than what they were before, even with all the challenges going on. Okay, so let me know. Do share with me below some of the things that you're doing for 2022, some manifestations that are coming to fruition. Share with me if you like fires. If you light your own fires and make your own fires, ladies. I love it. So 2022, a year of internal balance, sacred union within, in the heart and empowered. And connected to our inner child within. Our innocence, our purity, our love, our divinity, a child of God and Goddess. So just imagine that. Just imagine yourself as the pure and innocent child, connected to nature, connected to oneness, play, creativity, creative expression, joy. Playful innocence. What is your next aligned move for you? That's what I'm going to leave you with. I'll share that below. What is your one inspired next move? Just one. And I'm talking about immediate, like tonight, tomorrow, to live in the now more. So what is one inspired step for you to take? What is your next aligned move? And for me, what comes is to share my work in a much greater way